Welcome to Travel Chicks, where we talk travel, transformation, and inspiration. My name's Melissa. I'm the founder of Travel Chicks, and I want to let you know that it may be me, it may be one of our other travel chicks, but welcome on board this adventure. Please, if you love what you hear, like it. Leave a review and share this with your friends. We need to inspire more people to create their own travel story. Welcome back to another wonderful episode of Travel Talk, where we talk travel, transformation, and inspiration in hopes that it will inspire you to take action and book that next plane ticket off to a lovely destination. And today, I am so excited to have a special guest with us on the show, Fiona, who is the Director of Marketing and Partnerships with the Israel Ministry of Tourism. Welcome to the show, Fiona.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to see you again, Melissa.
Amazing. So, everybody wants to know about this ever-changing restrictions, regulations, entry requirements of getting into the countries. So my very first question for you today is, as of right now, of course, we know things will change, but as of right now, what are the entry requirements, to get into Israel?
The best thing about Israel, and it happens in the summer, is they've opened it to everyone. Everyone can travel to Israel. There's no restrictions. There's no isolation when you arrive. There's no testing requirements. So it's for vaccinated or unvaccinated are welcomed. There's, as I mentioned, no testing necessary. If you're there and you have testing requirements on your return to home, there are facilities that you can do that in Israel, but everything is wide open and welcomed for all ages.
Okay, so this is amazing and incredible news. Now, I do want to clarify one thing. So if a passenger is unvaccinated, am I clear on they do not need to get an antigen or a PCR test to enter Israel?
Correct. Yes.
Wow.
They do. They are not tested. So that's I guess it's the add-on is that there's no testing. So you're either vaccinated or unvaccinated. We're not going to request any proof or anything. So it's open. It's open for you to travel to Israel and enjoy the beautiful beaches and dive into the history. It's there for you.
Woohoo! So I think a lot of Canadians are going to be excited to hear this information. Now, with this last year, we all know that travel has been picking up across every single part of the continent. And I want to ask you, with Israel, what kind of trends have you been noticing, for the travelers coming over?
Trends. Where the tried and true has resurged. So the people coming for that faith-based group, the pilgrimages. So as a trend, that's been consistent. Mm-hmm. And what's growing is the interest as a destination for spa, for discovery of history and archaeology. You can do digs in Israel. So there's a trend of looking for something different. Mm-hmm. And we're finding that there's lots to share when people ask for something that's different. There's new discoveries and experiences. If you've heard of kibbutz before, it's a very calming, I'm going to say location, but it's like a community inside of a botanical garden with nature reserves around every corner. There's live animals that are just living amongst, and it's a beautiful way to spend a few days or a month, or even as we work from home and anywhere around the world. Mm-hmm. That seems to be growing too as a trend, is people are able to do what they do anywhere. And kibbutz is actually quite an interesting way place yourself and do everything that you do for work and still enjoy nature and discovery and hiking and activities in Israel. So yeah, it's for Canadians, it's a destination that's kind of untapped. We find that in the US, the resurge of travelers to Israel has returned to 2019 numbers, which we saw an unprecedented growth in 2019. We're about 30% behind in those numbers, but people are returning.
Wow. Those nature reserves sound incredible.
Yes.
And let's face it, people are needing mental health, like rejuvenation, relaxation, and to kind of unplug to like recharge.
Oh, absolutely. And I was there in June, and it was the first time I visited the Dead Sea. And yes, everything in the Dead Sea is dead, but it's so no mammals and no plants and things. So it's a very clean, perfect, calm waters. But when you go in, there's such a high salient content, minerals, that when you leave the waters, you feel rejuvenated, like you had just done a 3-hour massage spa retreat. It just has a natural way of bleeding into your body. Not even just the water, just the area, the bromine in the atmosphere just has such a health benefit, just being there. It was an amazing experience. And as I say, the waters are so calm, and you float because of that salt content. You're not able to sink. And so you float to the water, and you can read a book while you're floating in the water. It's just so calming, and absolutely, you get back that mental state that you didn't know was missing, just by with the health benefits.
Amazing. Now, I mean, of course, everyone thinks of Israel and wanting to do, faith-based small group tours. And that's amazing. Would you say there is, because I've actually never visited Israel yet. I know we've sent tons of clients on some of these group tours and heard just raving reviews. Like, you need to experience it. Like, words can't even describe what they experienced over there. But for our listeners who may have never traveled to Israel, what are some top things to do or not to miss that you could recommend?
Absolutely. And the faith-based, it's there. So one of the nice things about Israel, you could take all of the country and put it in Lake Ontario or New Jersey. It's such a small country in that you could drive from top to bottom in 5 hours. So if you're cruising and you start your cruise in Haifa in Israel, you can do an easy pre and post or post. You can include Jerusalem with that faith-based, or you go to the Sea of Galilee, and that's got such a biblical history behind it. But the waters and do active. I saw speed sailing on the Sea of Galilee, which is actually a lake. It is, we'll appreciate as Canadians, it's such a deep, dark color and clean, and just the wind. It was so beautiful to be on that lake, and the food and the hiking that are around in the Golan Heights behind in the backdrop. So I would say hiking and water sports activities can be experienced in a pre and post, or a tour from top to bottom. Include those historical sites, those Town of Jesus sites, if you're interested in seeing that history, or get really involved and do an archaeological dig, which are happening all the time. Discoveries of archaeology is constant. And the museum culture, there are 200 museums in Israel. My favorite was Yad Vashem, which was such a moving historical walk through what we don't want to forget, but it's the story of the Holocaust and a celebration of the survivors, and a beautiful museum. I would definitely suggest doing that. But then you've got the nightlife in Tel Aviv, which transforms. So from the day, you've got wonderful markets, really bustling with people and shopping and anything from fruits and vegetables to knickknacks that you want to pick up, or just
Spices.
Yes, and breads. Oh my goodness, the breads are fantastic. But at night, it turns into such a vibrant music. People dancing. When I was there, yes, you were walking through, and there were the food stalls turn into just a cafe. It has such a great cafe culture. But then people will just break out into music. Someone will have a saxophone, and they'll start playing music, and you all of a sudden have a corner of a nightclub. So the markets are fantastic to experience. And then the festivals, there's constantly festivals to enjoy because it has such an outdoor atmosphere. You're not inside, you're not in close contact in inside quarters. You're outdoors enjoying everything. Everything can be done.
I can just I can visualize that right now. Like, it's almost like the olden days, ladies used to gather in these little dance halls and stuff. And it's like that visualization as you were explaining that. It's like the streets just turn into this total atmosphere of community and love and laughter. And
yes,
it seems incredible.
And you can go back in history as far as the Roman times, because there's such a Roman, parts of Israel was built by the Romans. And there was a what's the word? Anyway, it was a Roman Byzantine. It was like a city that was destroyed by an earthquake, but the ruins are there. And to think during the summer months, it can get quite hot. But the Romans had made, and this is hundreds and hundreds of years ago, they made steam baths, not without electricity. They had made steam baths that are still there to look at today, and it's just a historical landmark to go back and to see what the world used to be. And
so
it is
cool.
It is the land of creation, and there's so much to discover.
So if you have people or Canadians thinking about traveling to Israel, what would you say is the best month to go?
Any month. I would avoid the core summer months because it does get hot.
Yeah.
But Israel is sunny 325 days, not to the day, but I do say 325 a year are sunny days. So you're not going to see hurricane season or any kind of monsoon. It is sunny and beautiful, and the temperature does go down, but light sweater or t-shirts for us Canadians who are used to really cold temperatures. But in Israel, it doesn't transit from really cold to really hot. It's pretty tempered throughout the year, with the exception of July and August, which can get quite hot.
Amazing. And the last question I have is, what is safety like over there? Is there specific areas that people should avoid? Is it do women always have to wear fully garbed, cover their skin kind of outfits?
Absolutely not. It is a very westernized country.
Yep.
Many cultures as well. There's the parts that you would avoid are not tourist parts. So the Gaza Strip that you hear on the news, you just wouldn't go there as a tourist. But for some of the religious sites, they would tell you in advance if they need to have pants or long dress or shoulders covered. But those would be specific religious sites only. Otherwise, it's a very casual atmosphere. People tend to dress very casually, but chic. The Israelis like to look good and be trendy, but absolutely casual is very comfortable and welcomed.
Okay. And I believe you guys have a super informational website that
We
people
do.
can
Yeah,
check out and log on to.
we do. And there are many other websites too, because in Israel, each city or destination has its own tourism board.
Mhm.
So ours, and specific to Canada, you'll see lots of videos and inspiration, but it's CanadaVisitIsrael.com.
Okay.
But if you really want to drill into what festivals are happening or what's happening, touristisrael.com also has great information. The Dead Sea has its own website. Jerusalem has its own website. So there's a lot more that you can find online. But if you start at CanadaVisitIsrael.com,
Mhm.
you won't really need any more than that just to get inspired to go. It's so much great information there.
Amazing. So there you have it, folks, our update with traveling to Israel. So as we always say, if you have any questions or you're interested in booking a trip to Israel, make sure to fire off an email to Travel Chicks at info@travelchicks.ca. And Fiona, thank you for joining us today. It was such a great pleasure to hear all the cool stuff to do in Israel.
Thank you so much, Melissa. I really appreciate the time and interest in Israel. It's such a great place to go.
Mm-hmm. All right, folks, until next time, stay inspired and don't let those dreams die for traveling.